హలో లర్నింగ్ పీపుల్, దిస్ ఇస్ నవ్య ఫ్రమ్ నవనందని స్టడీస్. ఏపీ డీసెట్కి సంబంధించి టీచింగ్ అప్టిట్యూడ్లో ఫస్ట్ 25 క్వశ్చన్స్ చూద్దాం. విచ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ ఈజ్ ద మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వాలిటీ ఆఫ్ ఎన్ ఎఫెక్టివ్ టీచర్? Proficiency in English communication, deep understanding of student psychology, having a high social status in the community, strict disciplinary control. Second question, a teacher's primary respectability in classroom is to prepare students only for board exams, complete the syllabus as fast as possible, C, maintain absolute silence in the room, facilitate learning and student growth. Third question, what is the main objective of action research in education? To test the IQ of students, to develop new educational theories, to compare the preference of different schools, to solve specific classroom based problems. Fourth, if a student frequently asked questions in class, what should a teacher do? Point out that they are disturbing others, ask them to wait until the end of the class, encourage them continue asking, tell them to look up their answer in the textbook. Fifth question, what document is initial of a teacher before starting a lesson? A list of student phone numbers, a lesson plan, a copy of their previous year's exam paper, a list of punishments. Sixth question, what is the best way handle a student who is not preferring well academically? Identify the cases of their difficult and provide support. Publish announce their low grades to motivate them. Suggest they change their subjects. Seventh question, which of these a form of formative assessment? A yearly report card, a final exam at the end of the year, a strategic entrance test, weekly quiz or class discussions. Eighth question, inclusive educational primary aims to teach only the gifted children in special class schools, provide educational to all children the same classroom regardless of their abilities, increase the number of exams for students, separate students based on their intelligence. Next question, ninth question, what should a teacher do if students are not interested in the class lesson? Lecturer offer longer to ensure content is converted, change the teaching method or making it more interactive, ignore the lack of interest and move on, give the student break and then return to same lecturer. 10th question, the Right Education Act 2009 focus on standard teachers uniforms, free and compulsory elementary education, only only private schools admissions, higher education exclusively. Which of the following best describes summative assignment? Evaluation student learning at the consultants of instructions period. Ascending a student emotional being. Providing feedback during the learning process. Observe student behavior on the 12th question. What is the primary goal of the continuous and comparative evaluation system? The evaluation both scholastic and co-scholastic respective aspects of a children's development. To rank students based on their exam rank marks. To reduce the teacher's administrative workload. To increase the number of standardized tests. Which teaching method is most suitable for developing critical thinking in students? Strict adherence that to lecturer only format. Rotate measurements of textbooks, facts, copying notes from the blackboard, inquiry based learning thought, problem solving. 14th question. A teacher notices a student constantly distracted in class. What should be first step? Punish student to discourage the behavior, discuss the issue of the student privately to understand the case, ignore the behavior so it does not disturb the class, give the student more difficult tasks. In the children, 15th question. In the child-centered classroom, who is responsible for learning process? The teacher is the sole authority. B. The students are active participant in constructing their own knowledge. The parents determine what should be learned. The school management sets all learning goals. 16th question. What is meant by individual difference in a classroom? Students for different backgrounds do not learn. Students have the same learning speed. All students must prefer all students must perform at the same level. Students vary in their ability, interest, and pace pace of learning. 17th question. Which of the following an example of inclusive classroom practice? Adapting teacher materials to accommodate different learning needs, grouping students by their IQ scores, ensuring only first learning participate, setting high goals that only a few can reach. 18th question. What is the primary role of teaching during group work? The assign grades based on the group final output to solve all problems for the students, to facilitate and guide students for a mentor, to remain silent above and observe. Why feedback is essential and teaching learning process? It helps the three teachers show suspectity, the help student identify areas for improvement. It tells student their final ranks in the class. It's mainly used to discipline students. 20th question. Which quality is most important for maintaining positive classroom discipline? Building respect and trust with students, keeping students busy and less homework, using physical punishment, being loud and strict. 21 question. When including a new complex concept with strategy of effect, ensuring student compensation, providing only writing materials and read silence, testing the students immediately see how too much they already know, using concept examples and relating the concept to students prior knowledge, and encouraging students to memorize the differentiation first without discussion. A teacher, 22 question. A teacher wants to foster regulated learning in students. Which action supports this goal? A structurally controlling every minute of the student's study time, providing students with opportunities to set their own learning goals and maintain their progress, giving students only takes they can finish perfectly without effects, focusing solely on the internal rewards from completing assignments. 23rd question. What is the primary benefits of using classing in teaching? It provides temporary support to help a students make a teach task they could not do alone. It ensures that all students perform at exactly the same speed. It all allows the teacher to do most of the work for the student. It eliminates the need of for any assignment of student progress. 24th question: how can teachers best support students with different learning styles? Create separate classroom for each learning style. Only teaching taught the method the teachers prefers. Identifying one style for teaching each student and teaching them only in the way using a virtual of institutional instructional methods like visual authority and kinetic activities. 25th question: in the context of classroom management, what is the role of clear expectations? They replace the need for an engaged lesson. They should be changed daily to keep student alert. They create a rigid environment that limits creativity. They helps they help students understand the rule and standards of behavior, reducing ఓకే. ఈ 25 క్వెషన్స్‌కి మీకెన్ని మార్క్స్ వచ్చినాయో నాకు కామెంట్‌లో చెప్పండి. ఇవి అన్నిట్లికి కరెక్ట్ ఆన్సర్స్ ఏంటో నేను కామెంట్ బాక్స్‌లో పెడతాను. మీకెన్ని మార్క్స్ వచ్చినాయో నాకు కామెంట్ చేయండి. ఇలాంటి వీడియోస్ కోసం మన ఛానల్‌ని ఇప్పుడే సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోండి. మీకింకా ఏ టాపిక్ కావాలో కామెంట్ చేయండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ వాచింగ్.